Three, two.
Thank you for connecting with us at diamondbeliever.com. And I hope the Walk Through the Book initiative is really, really inspiring and encouraging you. Today, our focus is chapter 8, Withstanding the Pressures of Life. Now, let me ask you a question. Why does a boat sink? Does the boat sink because the boat is in water, or does it sink because the water gets into the boat? Of course, the answer is because water gets into the boat. That's the same thing about the pressures of life. The pressures of life are inevitable, but stress is optional. That is what inspired me in writing this particular chapter. When I was going through a particularly difficult time, I was pressed and crushed, just like what Paul says that we were pressed on every side, that we even almost despair of life as well. And I realized that anybody who is going to do anything significant for God have to be able to go through and withstand the pressures of life. As a matter of fact, God has designed us in such a way that we will overcome and withstand the pressures of life. That is why we have our spirit, our soul, and our body. But before I talk about that, I've discovered that the pressures of life has come to ask you one simple question. The question, who are you? That is the identity question. That is part of what we live with every day, right? Whenever you go to an ATM and you try and put your card in and you want to get money out of it, it's going to be asking you, who are you? When you try and log into your email to get access to it, before you do so, it will ask for your password. What is the email asking you? Your identity. Who are you? And so the pressures of life and the challenges of life are designed to ask you, who are you? And we've also learned once that when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. In chapter 8, you will learn how to answer the identity question, who you are. You'll learn how to withstand the pressures of life. You understand that you are a spirit being, you have a soul, and you live in a body. You understand how to go through all the challenges of life from a spiritual point of view, from a psychological point of view, from a sociological point of view as well, and even where relevant, for a physiological point of view as well. Withstanding the pressures of life is something that will really, really inspire you. So I encourage you to dig into chapter 8 and learn how to withstand the pressures of life. Can also encourage you to share this with someone. I know that it will really, really encourage them. Well, I trust that this chapter blesses you more and more. God bless you. Well, I hope you have really been inspired by the very short introduction to the chapter that you have listened to. I want to encourage you to get into each section of that chapter, get the meat and the juice out of it, use it to your advantage. But for you to have access to these materials, you need to sign up for Diamond Believer membership. The details are on your screen. You get access to the section and so much more support will be made available for you as a Diamond Believer member. And I want to encourage you to make the most of it so that we can work with you in your journey towards destiny fulfillment. I know it will be a blessing to you. I actually make bold to say that it will be one of the best investments you have ever made on yourself. I look forward to being a blessing to you all.